Okay, so we are going to build this little thing here, and I'm going to start by creating shapes. And you'll notice that I use the space bar to move around. That's the little hand. And I'm going to use this to zoom in. So the first thing I want to do here is to create on this artboard the body of that little round character. And the way I'm going to do that is create a rectangle or square. The shortcut for that is M down here. And we're going to go to the corner. And then we're going to use this tool, this little white arrow tool. We're going to click off of the square and then shift select both of these points, hold down shift and round it. And that snaps into place. So now we've created the body of the top of this. And then I'm going to keep it there and I'm going to move on to this one. And I'm just going to go over here, create that square here. And the eyes, we're going to use a different tool. It's the ellipsis. And I'm going to hold down shift to do that. And the important thing here is that I never create more than one of anything. I just duplicate in Illustrator. So we're going to start out by using the pencil tool here. And we're going to, the pencil tool is right there, hotkey N. And we're just going to draw a line through it to get that kind of lightning bolt. And now I use this tool, which has quickly become one of my favorites in Illustrator. It's called the Shape Builder. You can use it over here. And what this does is it just cuts stuff and it merges things. So if I hold down Option, I can get rid of those two little lines like that. And then I can create a shape that basically has two colors. So you're not going to be able to really see that unless we choose a different color for this side. So I'm going to select this side directly here. Or actually what I'll do, which is a better way to do it, is I'm going to hit K over here. And I'm just going to show you. There we go. So there's a little eye. Now, again, we don't want to make that more than we have to. So I'm just going to hold down Option, click and drag, and we've made the eyes. It's the same thing with the heart. You know, you never want to make more than one of anything in Illustrator because you can always duplicate. And the way that we're going to do that now is just go to the rectangle tool here. And again, I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to use my direct select to select just these 2 points. Holding down shift selects more than one of something. And I'm going to snap it. And then the shortcut, which is down here in the helpful shortcuts. This one is the one I use all the time. Sorry, I'm going to scroll down. So duplicate an object is Option or Alt plus you click and drag the object. So I'm going to hold down Option, click and drag. And then I'm going to hold down Shift and just merge those like that. And then this thing, I can actually create one shape by using that same tool, the Shape Builder tool, which is right here. I can just go combine those and we've got that. Now the antenna, that's just another square. So I'm just going to build that like that. And the same thing with these. Literally what you do is just build one, hold down Option, click and drag, and you've got 4. It's really, I think it saves a lot of time. It can make things look like this is a robot illustration. You know, repetition makes things look a little bit less imperfect sometimes, but it can be useful. So we're building those. And then just so you can see why we're doing all this, this is starting to take shape, right? If I put this over here, obviously I need to change the color. So I'm going to use my eyedropper tool. And that's right over here. The hotkey is I. And then just building these out, these eyes look kind of demonic, but I kind of like them. So we're going to keep them red. And then adding the body, that's probably not the right color. So I'm going to use my eyedropper, select the white color. And it looks like I forgot the mouth, so I can make a little line. We're just going to choose black and drag that in. Oops, I think I did that. There we go. So now it looks like I may need to still add the stroke over here. Just add a little bit of a line there. And then that heart antenna, holding down Shift and shrinking will shrink stuff proportionally, which is why I like to do that. And then this thing, I think that's white, so we're just going to select that. Zooming in. This is an important thing too. When I want to move something in front, you can come over here and say arrange, bring to front. And if I want to shrink something down, I can just move that in place like that. So it's coming together. If I wanted these eyes to be white like these, the one thing I would do here is I would go to expand appearance. And all you need to know about that is that when I look at Illustrator in preview, you're going to see what I see right now on my screen. But what it actually looks like is it's all outlines. So Illustrator is made of shapes that are lines and points. And when you see that, you can see that, you can see what's not a line and point, right? This is made of line and points. This is not. This is made of pixels, so I don't see it at all. So anyways, I can go in and select a different color for those if I want. But what I need to do first is I need to expand it so that I can actually select those different areas. And then here, this just comes down to building out more of these shapes for the little hands here. What I did is I did a circle, move that out of the way. And then I made a triangle, which is another shape you can build here in Illustrator. You go to the polygon tool, make a 3-sided polygon, and then you've got your triangle. And we just kind of put that into place like that. And then to erase that, we're going to go over here to the shape builder. Or you could use another tool called minus front Pathfinder, which is over here. And that just chops it. And then we're just going to duplicate that. And again, we start putting those into place like so. So the most important things to get comfortable with is just zooming around, like moving like this and zooming in and out. And then if this happens, sometimes when you're working in Illustrator, this will happen, or you'll get really, really zoomed in like that, and it'll be like you're lost. You can go up here to the navigator, aptly named, and then just go right over and you can change your zoom in, zoom out. I'm going to look at this at about 50%. So it's just about, putting this stuff kind of into place, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but I think something like this can be a fun way to learn, because you're actually building something that looks, like something, not just making random shapes. So you can see I'm just literally just moving these guys into place, and I am holding down Shift when I rotate like that because I want it to be in a straight line. So again, what I did is I come up to the corner where it's that little double-headed arrow, and I just hold down Shift, and you can even use Shift when you move. I do that a lot because it keeps things in a straight angle. So there we go. And then again, if I wanted to change the color of multiple objects at once to save myself time, I would do Shift Select like that. And then I would use my eyedropper and just change all those at once, right? So the legs, we're using a lot of those same kinds of techniques. It's all about building one of something and then duplicating it. So I'm gonna make this black so I can actually see what I'm doing here. And then I'm going to build a circle like that. And then you can see down here, I have a rectangle. And the reason I have that there is I'm going to use it to cut this in half like that. So if we put this rectangle over that circle like this, and we select those two, if I use minus front, I can just chop it. And then these two shapes, I can merge them with the Pathfinder, or I can use the shape builder tool. Either work. And so then you have this wheel cover thing, which we're going to duplicate. And then to build the actual wheel, we're going to use the circle tool. And this is a kind of advanced shortcut, but you can do this two ways, right? We have a circle. We're trying to make a smaller circle inside of it. I ended up not learning this until very recently, but I use it all the time now. So you can do this two ways. You can copy and paste and just like shrink the circle, right? But if you wanted to do this a different way and make sure it was right in the center, you could go edit copy, edit paste in front, and then hit S for the scale tool. Come right about here, hold down shift, and then shrink it. And I have found I really like that, especially when I'm designing logos that are circular with an emblem. Like let's say you've got text and you need to make sure everything's really centered. I just find that super helpful. So those are the wheels, and we've got 2 of them. I think he's got 4 total. So we're going to build this little thing now, right? Got one of those. And again, like what I did there is kind of inefficient. Like I'll just build one of something. So I'm going to use that red here and then use the black. And I can just reverse the fill and the stroke. And then for this, I'm going to just arrange, bring to front. Now I've got one of these things. If I have a bunch of stuff I'm trying to move at once, I put it in a group. And so grouping will just drag that over, right? The only thing I realized before I grouped that is that I should probably make this thing, looking at this and what I did, this thing needs to be white if I want to match it. So I'm just going to do that real quick. And then I will group it and put it over here. Option, click and drag 4 times. And then we've got this thing built, right? And that didn't take me too long. It will take you longer if you're new to this program, but the shortcuts, I recommend learning these if you can as you go, because when you work in this program a lot, like if you get a job doing any kind of production, they're going to have timelines for you that are pretty quick, right? So these shortcuts really help you be creative, but also get stuff done. And it's just nice to be able to move through stuff quicker, I think. So that is this assignment, and I'm going to stop my demo now.